Harvest to you all! I started badly. Yeah, I started badly on the daily. I started really badly. Let me describe to you what happens, okay? Because of the stuff I do during the day, which is a lot of video editing, recording, little clips and stuff like that, most of the equipment used to live stream is actually over there, right? So the most important parts are the camera and the microphone are over there. And around 4 o'clock, I get my shit together for the daily, right? I transfer the equipment over, I get everything plugged in, I turn it on, the PC doesn't load, it says disk write error, I then fanny around with the PC, I then boot it up again, and boom, I'm ready to go. About 30 minutes early, the stream starts about 30 minutes before the show. So I was golden. I was golden fucking Richards. I was legit ready to go. Then the phone goes, and it's kind of an important call, so I've got to take the call. So I'm sat here on the phone, I'm kind of monitoring the chat, I have a little bit of a walk around, all that usual shit. And then it gets to 2 minutes to, and it's time to do a bit of a warm-up, get everybody in the mood, we're about to do a daily. Yeah. So I sat here, I turn off the music, I activate the microphone, and then I go, "Sup guys, you ready to do a daily?" And then I look down, and there's no microphone in front of my face. There's no microphone anywhere. I just sat here like that. Hey, is everybody okay? What's going on? It's Preacher. We're going to do a daily today, right? And I look and there's just no microphone. And I go like this. And there's the microphone over there. I'm like slow-mo, like this cannot be happening. Stream time. There's no... I mean, it's fucking huge. Look at the fucking thing. It's massive. And I didn't notice it was missing. I had no idea it wasn't there. I was just like, no! So I quickly, trying to rescue the situation, like a boss, right? Like a total fucking boss. I run over to the PC, unplug it, stick it in, but of course, the streaming program has already selected a microphone for us to use, which is probably the built-in camera microphone or something retarded like that. And that's why the fail occurred. Yeah! Good stuff. You'll notice I am forever alone today. I am Team 2. Our special guest is not here. She's coming tomorrow. She's on vacation, so I can't really complain. She's on vacation with her family, and she couldn't make it today. So hopefully she's going to make it tomorrow. Should be good. Should be good. Should be good stuff. So we'll get to that then. I apologize. Announcement. I love announcements. It means something good's about to happen. On Monday, the second channel will start. It's the Preaching Ghost YouTube channel. It's all gameplay. It's all gameplay stuff. It is not just World of Warcraft. There's various games on there. We're going to kick it off either with Luigi's Mansion with Emma or with Bonanza Brothers with me and Ghost. A Mega Drive game from God knows when. So you let me know. There's going to be a video every single day. Every single day. Right about midday UK time. And a new video every single day on the gameplay channel. Should be cool if you like that kind of stuff. It's just me and Ghost, Emma, kicking back, shoot the shit. So whichever one you guys want to see first, we have a variety of games. If you like to see some classic some classic Mega Drive stuff, let us know. If you want to see some wrestling, we've got some WWE 13 of Ghost failing really badly, which is awesome. The campaign mode in WWE 13 is really hard. It's really fucking hard. And also some Luigi's Mansion. So if you want to see some stuff like that, let us know. We're going to be playing all sorts of games. Your guys' recommendations, doesn't matter. Any console, by the way. We have a Wii, we have a PS3, and an Xbox 360. Yes, we do. On that note, before I carry on with my other announcements, has anybody seen the proposed look, it's not the final version, of what Valve's Steam Box will look like? It's tiny and small, it's so cute and cuddly and cute. They're teamed up with what they call XI3, a company that makes really tiny micro PCs. They've invested a lot in there to create the Steam Box. The Steam Box is a reality. It will be coming to your living room soonish, TM, Valve style, and will allow you to play Steam games, PC style, on your big screen HD TV. It looks fucking really cool, actually. It shits on the looks of whatever the new console will be, because, let's see if I can pick this up. Do you guys ever realize? Let's unplug it. How fucking big is this thing? Look at that fucking thing. It's fucking enormous. It's like the size of my PC. I know there's a slim version out there, but Jesus, look at this fucking thing. It's a beefcake. It's crazy. It's like the biggest thing I've ever seen in my life. It's it's so fucking stupid. Hey, It's all that size and not backwards compatible, which is retarded. Ugh, I have to show you. Yep. As we were starting the gameplay channel, we obviously massed together as many games as we could. Look at all this cool shit we got. Metal Gear Solid 2. Metal Gear Solid 3. Ghost likes Metal Gear Solid, man. Does it... Am I the only guy who hates Metal Gear Solid? I fucking cannot stand Metal Gear Solid. It's fucking terrible. Urban Chaos. I don't know what that is. Marvel Ultimate Alliance. We totally wanted to play that as well. Matrix. Path of Neo. All good. That game's pretty cool. I fucking can't fucking stand. Look at Karen and like, fuck you, Breach. Metal Gear Solid is awesome. Metal Gear Solid is the best game ever. Holy fucking shit. No, I'm not down with the Metal Gear Solid. I don't like any game where you can sneak. Ghost is recently filling my ears with how good Hitman Absolution is. Not for me. Not for me. Get Kingdom Hearts. Well, we're going to be accepting any requests. We'll try and sort as many games out as possible. We'll play them and just have some great fun. It should be a laugh. We quite enjoy just sitting down and playing games together, but not always live streaming. Live streaming kind of separates us apart. He has to sit over here, I have to sit over there. And it's more like we're talking to you guys, not that that's a bad thing, than each other, than forming an alliance ourselves. So we like to get that kind of stuff out. So that will be starting from Monday. Go check it out. Preach and Ghost is the YouTube channel where it will be going up. Alright. The other announcement is Wednesdays are going to become something different. Yeah. Wednesdays will now be shown as, wait for it, it's a brilliant title. It is. It's the best title ever. Workshop Wednesdays. It took a whole team of people to think of that name. Workshop Wednesdays. Workshop Wednesdays will be me not being a massive slacker and actually looking at your workshop videos. What are the workshop videos? I'm sure there are people in this chat right now who don't know what the fucking workshop is. Don't know what it is. It's when you are struggling to get the best out of your class and you don't know what the problem is. Ugh. So fail, right? You like, I've watched the guide, I know what's going on. What am I doing wrong? I can't see what the problem is. My gems seem right, my glyphs seem right. I'm pressing most of the buttons. But I'm like 15, 16k behind in DPS. What's the problem? I don't know. So you record yourself playing, you upload it to the YouTube, and you send me a link to preachgaming@gmail.com, and you say, Preacher, check out my video. Something's wrong. What is it? And then I watch your video, and then we go through it, and we find out what the problem is, and hopefully help you out. It's been very, very successful in the past. It used to be a kind of Saturday night thing. I think we've got room to put it into the daily, to give a whole day dedicated to showing some gameplay and generally being really cool about it. So Wednesdays will be Workshop Wednesday, starting tomorrow. Yay! So send me your workshop videos. If you don't send them, not much for me to talk about on a Wednesday. I'll have to just do a normal daily. What a bummer. So send that stuff, okay? Send in some lovely, lovely workshops of you playing. If you're having trouble, don't send me a video of you being totally awesome. Right? If you rock the DPS like nobody's business, if you are a legit Dildo Baggins, don't send me a video for the workshop. I'm not going to use it. Don't do it. Okay? Just send me stuff if you're struggling, and we'll try and work it out. Because if you're having troubles, don't be embarrassed. Okay? Don't be embarrassed. How to get 1080p in Windows Live Movie Maker. Save for high definition display. Correct. If you're using Movie Maker, I do have to use Movie Maker sometimes for a really annoying reason. But yeah, it's just save as high definition. That's it. Don't worry about anything else. I will fix it at my end. I will. I will legit fix it all up and it will be awesome and good. So Workshop Wednesday starting tomorrow. If you would like to find out what's wrong with your gameplay in some fashion, send it to me. And if you're not sure what the workshop is all about, look it up on my YouTube channel and you'll see. Dead easy. Okay. To the discussion of today's topic, the main aim of why we are here. To the daily, the only one that matters. I love that line. I uninstalled caps and now I can't rage. Basically, we started yesterday talking about the possible war that is kind of already here, but is starting to affect us. Starting to become noticeable. Nothing worse than that issue, the elephant in the room, when people start to notice it. There's an elephant over there. And it's starting to happen now. The separation amongst players. Those who are pushing and have been pushing since Mr. Pandaria. And those of us who've taken our time, played a little bit casual, and are now starting to notice a rather large divide forming between us and the other players, obviously with people dotted many stages in between. Now, first of all, we need to address people who are undoubtedly nicknamed Wrath Babies, which is a horrible term. It's interesting to see how many people want to ask me a question but are afraid of showing it in public, and those people who just want to address the most obvious issue and therefore do it in public. If we were to take the YouTube video of yesterday's daily as an example, the entire discussion is based around LFR and the item level associated with it. Something I quite clearly stated during the daily is irrelevant. It's not relevant at all. Sure, the item level may seem a little high, but Blizzard will in fact introduce some system, such as increased drops in the LFR system, or simply better Valor items with an absurdly high item level to push you into LFR. They want you to run LFR. That won't be the problem. The problem is, well, how do we catch up again? How do we get back there? Because surely these players will be in 540 items or 530 items or some considerably higher item level than we can achieve. And we may be back at like 480 item level. We're now like 50 item levels away from other players. That's a large gap. That's people who are going to tear you a new arsehole should you run into them in the real world of Azeroth. That kind of makes sense, right? The real world of Azeroth. the real world of Azeroth. You know what I mean, right? The real world of Azeroth. Okay. So this is the problem. It's not a problem though. This is the issue. Because it's not a problem. But what happened is, on the YouTube video, we had a ton of replies. Let me check some of these things out. Why not? Let's be a devil. Let's be a cheeky, cheeky monkey and have a look. Because we've already had like 70 comments on there today. Ooh, good. People talking a lot of stuff. A lot of stuff about Adblock. Yeah, lots and lots of stuff about LFR here. People in LFR are not the worst. My guild says they're the worst. LFR is not the worst players ever. But more about being blocked out of LFR. And some people who are a bit already butthurt. Okay. Comments such as, I won't see any of the new LFR. I refuse to do daily, so I can't buy any gear. And scenarios and heroics aren't dropping what I need to start Mogoshon Vault's LFR. So, oh well. This is actually the good thing. People who refuse to take part in PvE content are probably not going to get to see the latest PvE content. Oh, mind-boggling or what? Mind-blowing. I can't just get straight into Mogoshon Vaults from doing that. In fact, you can get straight into Mogoshon Vaults from doing normal heroics. That's actually the warm-up to Mogoshon Vaults. You're actually fine doing that. That's no problem at all. So that is an issue. But there's going to be a lot of people who are really, really butthurt. Like, this is unfair treatment. I'm getting bullied. And this is what I don't want you to worry about. Because in-game, I played the game today. I played my mage for essentially the final time. I just wanted to reassure myself, really, that I was making the right decision and sort of not giving it another chance. So I played it today for a little while. Was really annoyed. So I have made the right decision. And it's I got a lot of whispers. More whispers than normal. I tend to get either troughs or peaks in terms of whispers when I log in. I either get spam whispered by lots and lots of people all at once, or I get trickles and sort of nice, easy to manage amounts of whispers. But today it was the spam whisperer. Yeah, tons and tons of whispers coming from all roads. And it was all about yesterday's daily. And it was people who wanted to privately discuss what they thought about this situation. So a lot of people said to me, one of the comments I found interesting was, I was a Wrath baby, which I still dislike that term. I'm currently progressing up to Terrace of the Endless Springs on Heroic. We only have a couple of bosses left. Will this affect me? No! No. I think I put the fear of death into some people. Like, it's almost as if, hey, if you started in Wrath of the Lich King, you're instantly going to be destroyed. It's like there's a comet coming your way, and it's going to fuck you up, right? So I said, oh, did you start in Wrath of the Lich King? Someone's coming to your house and is going to smash you in the teeth with a baseball bat. It's going to be bad news. That's not what I'm saying. It's not what I'm saying at all. Don't worry about that. It's fine, okay? If you're currently raiding and progressing, you're up to speed with where you need to be. The problem comes with people who are returning to the game or haven't done any progression yet, which is essentially the same as returning to the game. Okay? So if you started in Wrath of the Lich King and you're currently raiding and you're doing okay, you're fine. You're fine. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. You're fine. It's okay. Nobody's going to take away your rating. They'll say, oh, you started in Wrath of the Lich King. You are going to have your gear devalued excessively. That's not going to happen. You're okay. You're fine. The issue comes with people who are used to maybe raiding a little bit, taking a break, then coming back, catching straight up, and being able to join some other guild. That is kind of what happened in Cataclysm and Wrath of the Lich King. Is so many people were just raiding a little bit, stopping, not even trying heroic content. This is another issue, is people weren't even trying heroic content. It was a waste of time. It's too hard, I'm not going to do it. And there's gear coming in a couple of months which will be outdoing all this heroic gear. Why have the hassle? It just seems like a hassle because we can catch up soon. Because the focus is so intently on gear, so massively focused on gear, we don't see anything else. We don't see the actual joy that comes from making a good heroic kill. A heroic kill that we've worked on a little bit, we've progressed as a team, and then it dies. We don't see that joy. All we see, because the game is so heavily focused around items and item level, is that we just see the gear that we can get from there, the gear we can get if we just don't bother with the hassle of dying, and then just getting it from badges and 5-man heroics, which seems the much easier choice. That's the way it's gone. So people have been much used to doing the normal content, or even just some of the normal content, then stopping, doing some 5-mans, getting better gear, and then carrying on doing a couple of normals, maybe even a normal, couple of pugs, and still being relevant. Still being relevant players. That's what's going to stop. I believe, anyway. I could be completely wrong, but it looks like that's what's going on. Blizzard are quite openly saying that is what's going on. You are not going to be able to be relevant if you don't put some more time into the game in one form or another, in terms of actually seeing content and enjoying it and taking it in. Don't look at it like you're doing more dailies. That's bad. Look at it as personal goals that need to be reached. So these whispers that I got today were very disheartening. People who are very worried. Really, really worried. Don't be worried. This is what I'm trying to tell you. Okay? I'm trying to tell you yesterday. I'm going to tell you today. Don't be worried. This is a good thing. It's a really good thing. Because at some point, you're going to realise being and doing the current latest brand new shiny content doesn't really matter if you haven't done the previous content. Because that's still brand new and shiny to you. It's like seeing an episode of Game of Thrones and you've never watched Game of Thrones. It doesn't matter that it's been out 3 years. Because it's still new to you. It doesn't matter that everybody else has seen it. It doesn't matter. You haven't seen it. You haven't done it. And so you should still enjoy it. And even just doing quick clears of that content, it's going to allow you to move up to the next tier. The next tier of content, moving on, doing well, doing all that kind of thing. So it's going to be fine. Don't worry about it. It's going to be a new mindset. That's what's awesome about it. A new mindset. It's not going to be a case of, oh, new raid patch. How many of you do this? New raid patch? I just have to grind 5-mans again to get the latest gear. Great. Great. I just have to do the new 5-mans. Loads of people do that. Loads and loads of players literally just go, oh, new patch. I have to do my 5-mans again to get more honor, to get more justice points, to get more valor points, to get the full set of gear, do some LFRs, and then I wait. That's it. A lot of people have fallen into this circle jerk, and it's a circle jerk of just literally doing LFR, doing your 5-mans, blaming something on why you're not raiding. A lot of people like to say it's time. It's not time. It's really not time. For some people, the few, it's time. You literally cannot set aside a night to raid. I understand that. There are literally millions of people playing a lot. Just look at Stark. Look at Stark. It's a great example. I love the Stark guys. They're fantastic. But there's some guys who are on all the time. They are. They're on all the time. But they're not in cutting-edge progression guilds. They could easily have the time to raid. Easily. Why aren't they? Well, most of them are now in Stark. They're raiding in Stark. But they came from somewhere where they weren't raiding. A lot of them did. A lot of them came from places where they just weren't raiding. They were stuck in the circle jerk. It's difficult to get out. One reason it's difficult to get out is you no reason to. Most of you have the time. You do. Admit it. You do. Don't be like, hey, I don't have the time. I'm that one guy who's got 12 kids and still has a World of Warcraft account and still works 24 hours a day. Don't be that guy and don't exaggerate your things. Loads of people are out there and they're stuck in the circle jerk and they don't know how to get out. Stark is one of the places that gives people a chance, which is not like a charity or anything like that, because you have to work hard yourself in order to get into the raiding side of things. Of course you do. But that's the way it should be. You will have the opportunity. And most people and most guilds will, in fact, give you the opportunity. It's hard to distinguish between guilds that are serious and will give you an opportunity, and those that are started by Joe Knobhead, who literally stands in Orgrimmar saying he's starting a new guild, we're raiding soon, all please join, plix, 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 have Tabard, have guild bank access. What is the guild bank access? Does that matter to anybody? Fucking guild bank? I see this all the time. Join us, we have guild bank access. What do you think is going to be in there? Like a fucking treasure trove or something? Think you're going to go up to the guild bank and just be like, oh my god, here's that 8 million gold I've been waiting to pick up. Duh, just take whatever you want. What do you think is going to happen? Guild bank access? Everybody can go in the guild bank. Oh, well, there must be something great in there, right? It's like, hey, here's my treasure chest. Just go and take it. People actually go, do you have guild bank access? Can I join? Because I want to steal everything. If anybody was to say, oh, I'd love to join your guild, and then they ask me the question, do we have guild bank access? I'd be like, well, I'm not inviting you. Because you must be out to steal anything you can possibly get your hands on. Why else would that matter to you? I don't understand why that matters to you in the least. Are you kidding me? Join us. We have Tabard and guild bank access. Put whatever you want in there. We'll take it. And then you get that guy who keeps depositing that fucking food that you get while leveling, like the 8,000 hit food. Motherfucker. You go in and there's like old bits of herbs. Shit. How do you know what I mean? We used to get guys who just put like the grey items in there out of his inventory. Just go up to the guild bank and just spam right click all the greys out of his items. Just leave them in the guild bank. That guy's like, oh dudes, you know what's best? I know I'm off topic, but in cesspool guilds, have you ever... My warlock, who's called Preach, he's on what, Twisting Nether, I think. Twisting Nether. He's in a cesspool guild. It's good for me to see what's going on in these guilds. So I have like a spy. It's not very covert. It's called Preach. Who's in this cesspool guild? They have guild bank access. It's full of stuff like 4 copper ore, 1 stack of wool cloth. What's going on there? People are like, somebody might need this. Somebody might need this golden apple. It's golden. Have you seen my golden apple? I better put it in the bank because somebody needs it. Somebody fucking needs it. Definitely somebody needs it. Steal the cop. AQ40 scarabs. FML to the AQ40 stuff. Yeah. The guild bank stuff. I don't get the guild bank stuff whatsoever. But getting back on topic, why don't we? This circle jerk. You're stuck in these guilds. We're going to raid soon. Doesn't work. Leave guild. Keep doing LFR. Find another guild. We has raid soon. Doesn't work. Raids once. Quits because everybody's 490 geared. Can't kill Stoneguard. Leave guild. Start own guild. Not really a guild leader. Invite a load of people. Don't know what you're doing. Leave guild. Can't kill Stoneguard. And you get stuck in this fucking circle jerk, don't you? Where you try everything in your power incorrectly. And it's so annoying for me. It's so frustrating to me to see so many of you stuck in this situation. Some of you aren't. Some of you are good players. I know that. No, I mean not good players. Some of you are more advanced, and some of you have found your guild, and you're happy. But so many of you are stuck in this cesspool guild, and that's what we're doing. We're trying to get you out of there. Because if somebody sees an awesome player, you will be sucked out of there like a fucking vacuum. Like that shit in the Matrix. You know when Neo comes out, and the fucking big scoop goes down into the cesspool guild, and pulls Neo out of it? That's what we're trying to make happen because you're a baller. You're the one. Yeah? You're the one. So they're going to come along and just grab you and suck you out of there because you're a good player. That's what we're trying to get to happen. But you're stuck there. But now you don't have the motivation to leave. I completely sympathize with that. You haven't really got the motivation to leave. Why would you? Why would you leave? You've been in guild after guild after guild of ICANN has guild bank and you're not getting anywhere. But your character's still kind of progressing through LFR. And by the time you've finished going through guild after guild, there's new content out. A new LFR is available. New 5-man loot. That's something to work on. And you've pissed off and you're frustrated and you're lost and you don't know what the fuck to do with your time. You've got all this time in the world. I know a lot of you have a lot of time. And you don't know what the fuck to do with it. And you're just like, ugh. All these guys are assholes. I'm surrounded by idiots. Nobody wants to take PvE seriously and I have no experience, so how the hell can I get out of there? This is why this is a good thing, what's coming and what's happening now, is because you're going to be forced to band together to get out of there. You're going to be forced to do something about it. The ICANN has guild, Tabard guilds are going to be crushed by this. Because more and more players are going to be sucked into a guild that's like, we actually need to do something now. We can't just do a Mogoshun Pug every week in order to see what's going on. Because pretty soon we're going to hit a wall, if not already. We can't do a Terrace of the Endless Spring Pug. Interesting question. Has anybody done a Terrace of the Endless Spring Pug that's actually a pug, right? I don't mean your guild's alts. Like a pickup group? I want to see. I want to see what's going on. Anybody? Anybody? So Ultrax says guilds crushed by upcoming patch. Cesspool guilds are going to get crushed. People are either going to leave because they can't see the latest content. Never. Nope. Nope. I wish. Lol. Nope. Never. It's already happening. Look at this. No. No. Madzill's done one. 3 out of 4. Success. 3 out of 4. Pfft, noobs. Had 2 pug DPS. That doesn't count. Ali's not done Terrace of the Endless Spring on LFR. Slacker. Ali, sad face. Challenge accepted. Are the US servers back up? I don't know. How would you find that out? Mystery. Paid for it. My guild leader is less than 9 years old. Merklin doesn't do pugs. I did one first boss in Elite 4 out of 4 in 4 or 5 hours. Look at this guy. Look at this guy. Hey, Paris Hilton EU. Like a boss. Taking fucking names. All good. Now, there'll still be cesspool guilds. There'll just be less of them. This is what's going to happen. It's going to be a big shift. And you should be ready for it. And you should be excited. If you are the person I'm talking about, of which there are many of you, if you are stuck in the circle jerk of death, which is basically it's the blue screen of death of WoW. You're stuck in LFR and 5-mans. You're stuck in trying to get a Mogoshun Pug together. Essentially, you go into Mogoshun Vaults in some Pug. You stand at the Stone Guard for 40 minutes. Then you pull it. Then you die. 3 people leave. And then you have to go back to Orgrimmar, or some guy goes back to Orgrimmar immediately and starts recruiting more people. You replace those people. You come back. You wipe. 4 more people leave. If you are that guy, this is a good thing for you. And you should be ready for it and be baller prepared. Because there are going to be a lot of guilds out there that need to do more than what they are doing. They need to band together. These players need to get together. And it's going to be awesome as fuck. And don't worry about it. And just because I said it's players who are not used to this who started in Wrath and Cataclysm, that doesn't mean something horrible is going to happen to you very shortly. Doesn't mean you're about to get a pound. So lots of you are in this situation. You're in this situation. It's terrible. It's a terrible situation. One thing I might suggest, look in the chat at how many people are in your situation. Only takes 2 seconds to whisper some of those guys and start getting something sorted. It really does. And if anything, join Stark. They have 2 raids going. They can have up to 1 million raids going. They can. Go there. Talk to people. Get help. Everybody in Stark is pretty fucking helpful. To be honest. Everybody's pretty good at helpful. That's if you're on EU. And US has the Council of Ballers. There's 2 guilds out there run by our community members. So you all follow, in general, my theory of give people a chance. Give them a try. Some people are never going to be very good at the game. That's okay. It's alright. It's no problem. Enjoy the game as much as you want. Enjoy the game as much as you want. Any questions? Do they have a 10 million slot TeamSpeak? I'm telling you, if you're stuck, this is what I'm trying to tell you. If I'm going to finish up there because I want to get some stuff ready for tonight and get Workshop Wednesday sorted and make sure the video is good. Got my notes. What I'm saying is, don't panic. But there are lots of people like yourselves, and we attract these people because I'm trying to help them out. By doing guides and stuff like that, you find people who are generally stuck in the circle jerk. They are. That is my target audience, is to get those people out there. My main mission in the channel is to get those people out of there up to rating. The best emails, I know I don't focus on them enough, and maybe I should. The emails that I get daily saying thank you because now I enjoy the game 10 times more. I'm in a real guild. I'm doing this. I'm doing that. That's what I love to see. So I want to see more of that. Questions, anybody? Sorry, I missed that. But what if people in the position we are, they all want to raid but don't have the XP or knowledge to lead a raid group? Then if you are coming... Listen. If you are joining with people from my community, okay, then you should start raid leading together. There will be somebody out of those people who has a voice and is not a raid leader yet, but can be. Somebody who stands out as the guy to be the raid leader. It could be you, it's probably someone else, doesn't matter. And you make decisions together and you work at it together. And if anything, you're all capable. A lot of people have fear of asking for help. If you're joining a raid that consists of people who've joined from a community where WoW guides were created, asking for help should never be an issue. And you should all openly be able to come to me and ask me questions, and I will do the best to answer them for you. If you don't... A raid leader isn't something that comes from like a training camp. I think people think raid leading a raid leader is like this golden child that comes from somewhere. It's really not. It's somebody who essentially is able to play and has a decent understanding of the mechanics and not just his own class, and has the ability to speak. That's the main basis for a raid leader. Somebody who can carry on doing what they're doing and watch the environment as well. It's not that hard. Most of you can actually start doing it yourselves. And therefore, you can do that. And you can talk and give them a chance and work at it together. It's the best way to do it. It seems idealistic, and it is. You'll have arguments, you'll have ups and downs, but that's completely normal. A lot of people, it's completely normal to have blazing arguments in raids. It is. It's totally fucking normal. A lot of people like to go, oh my god, this is horrible, I'm leaving the guild, they're rowing. But no, stick around and give it a try. Our raid leader has crap DPS. Voiceover is for noobs. Yeah. Must be nice to play alone in an MMO. I can't find anything about new challenge modes on. Do you know if there will be new challenge modes in 5.2? Last I heard is that the challenge modes are not going to be for new 5-mans, but are being done for old content. So things like Shadowfang Keep challenge mode, Scarlet Monastery challenge mode, and so on and so forth. I would expect to see those challenge modes come in 5.3, not in 5.2. But in 5.3, we'd expect to see the new challenge modes for old content, not new content. Not new content. Raid leading on a basic level is always going to be a challenge, but if you know your raid leader's new, then what's your problem? Really, what is your fucking problem? If you've got a guy who's like, I've never raid led before, but I think I can do it, or you nominate someone. The best thing to do is to nominate someone. If you have that standout guy, that's how I ended up raid leader all the time. I was always talking on vent. I had a voice that people seemed to shut up when I talked, which is something I've always had a problem with, to be honest. I tend to overpower people. I've done it to Ghost a ton of times, cutting him up. But that was the kind of thing people were like, you should raid lead. And then I ended up doing it, and it was fine. It was really cool. What are my thoughts on the 80 Paladin soloing the Stone Guard? Grats on getting Vengeance nerfed again. Good shit. Is it worth attaching an LFR healing World of Logs for a guild app? Yeah, absolutely. But it will, yeah, full overheals. It's a good point. It's a good point. Hang on. It's a good point. If you haven't got any World of Logs, yes, right? If you haven't got any normal World of Logs, of course it is. But I would... Okay, this is what you do. Easy. Easy fix. Attach the World of Logs. Explain why you've used an LFR World of Logs. You said you wanted to display how you're playing. You can, and then you point out the good points. You will get the noobs who check your World of Logs and go, it's LFR, it's full overheal. Yeah, you write that in the comments. You're like, I know it's LFR. I know there's a ton of overheal. What I'd like to point out is the reduced damage I took from all the environment abilities. Again, I'm aware it's LFR. And the uptime on my class-specific buffs. So if it was like a Resto Druid, something like Harmony, you can see my Harmony's up. You can see I'm using things on cooldown. If you're a Resto Shaman, things like Riptide and Tidal Waves, things like that, that you're using all these abilities. I said, this is a good demonstration that I'm playing my class right. I know it's not a good demonstration of my healing. I would put something like that. Remember, accentuate, biggest rule about applications, accentuate the positives, hide the negatives. The negatives is that it comes from LFR. The positives, that it does show still that you're using your class correctly. That's what I would do. I don't do raids anymore. I'm more of a PvP guy. Should I go back to like I used to in 4.3 for tanking in 5.2 because I never had good motivation? But with what you said, should I rethink? I think if you're just PvP, you're not going to have a problem. You're not going to have a problem. It's going to be fine. Please, questions that are not like 5 lines. I would love to answer your question, but I want to try and hit as many as possible. I haven't really done a proper question session for a while, so let's get some stuff. Preach, if Blizz pumps these patches out so fast, your opinion, how many patches will we see? And do you think that we will play MOT for how long before the next expansion? You've got to remember, these are smaller patches than what we had in the past. They're doing more smaller patches. Where we would normally expect a major patch like a 0.2 or a 0.1 or a 0.3 to include new 5-mans, a new raid tier, a new tier of gear, maybe a new daily hub, all these kind of things. What we're actually seeing is like 5.1 is a new daily hub, 5.2 is going to be a new raid, 5.3 is probably going to be some form of new 5-mans. People are a little bit pissed that there's no 5-mans in this content, but again, that's a change we need to get used to. How many patches will there be? I don't know. I haven't seen them. How many times have we gone past 4 raid tiers? How many do we have in Cataclysm? We had tier 11, tier 12, tier 13. We have the 3, right? We only have 3 raid tiers in Cataclysm. So if we stick to something like that, Wrath of the Lich King was 4. We had Nax, Malygos, South Aryan, Ulduar, TOC, and ICC. So you can expect 3 or 4 raid tiers and then coming to the end. I hope the only problem is, how long will this last? They say 12 months to 18 months. So I don't trust Blizzard on times. They're worse than me for times. They're worse than me for timing anything to get released, because it's ready when it's ready, ultimately. I wouldn't try and put a number on it. Are you waiting for the expansion to end? Does it matter? As long as we're not bored. What we don't want to see is the Cataclysm effect, where Dragon Soul is out 7-8 months before the end of the expansion and we're stuck with it for nearly an entire year with no new content. That's a bad situation to be in. But why are you worried about the end yet? TBC had Tier 4, Tier 5, Tier 6, and Tier 6.5. So you had 4 in TBC. Sunwell was Tier 6.5. Where do you think 5.2 will be released? I'm not sure. It's on the PTR, so I would say 8 weeks. 8 weeks. There's some problems on the PTR. I have logged on the PTR. It's buggy as crap. It's really bad. There wasn't much to show you that was worth showing you. I can fly around the new world bosses and do that kind of stuff, but I haven't been able to. It's been pointless trying to film anything because it's so buggy. There isn't much to show you whatsoever. Therefore, I haven't bothered. As you know, I'm not going to release content for the sake of views. I never do. I don't like that style of YouTubing or video presentation. If it's nothing I can help you with, I don't bother. So at the moment, there's not much to show you, which means stuff isn't out yet. None of the new raid, Throne of Thunder isn't out yet or anything like that. So it's not much point in it. Is it better to buy Valley gear or use it to upgrade gear if you're trying to gear up a new toon? The upgrade system's going away in 5.2. Am I right? Am I right in that? It's a flawed system to begin with. Although I kind of had a discussion with Blubzar today, who is in a progression raiding guild. He was okay with the upgrade system because he had nothing else to spend his points on. He was like, well, I have these points anyway, I might as well get rid of them. The upgrade system is bizarre to me. It seems like Blizzard had a problem. Again, it's one of those things like the reputation tab ads. It seemed Blizzard had a problem with it when the player base didn't. And the problem was gear capping. Like, Blizzard seems to have a problem with people being best in slot. Not many people get to be best in slot. It's quite a rarity to be best in slot. Only a few people in the world, comparatively, get to be best in slot. And Blizzard seems to have an issue with that, in that you don't have anything else to do. If you're in the position where you've become best in slot, I don't think you're too arsed about not having to run dailies and stuff. You're not fucking bothered. You'd rather play your alts. You'd rather do something else. I know when I was best in slot, I didn't give a shit. I had capped points all the time. I just spent them on gems and herbs and shit. I didn't care. The upgrade system I find really odd. I don't know. I don't get it. I don't see. It kind of means that players have to play after they've completed content. I don't think you should be upgrading anything unless you know your limitations. If you're not going to run normal modes, then upgrade your LFR gear. You're going to have those points anyway. If you're not going into LFR, upgrade your heroic 5-man gear, although I wouldn't recommend that at all. Know your limits. Are you literally not going to get a better item in that slot for the long foreseeable future, then upgrade it. Why not? You've got those points anyway, and that's what I think you should do with it. Yeah, like Curse Lake said there, it gives me stuff to spend my points on when I upgrade my item level without grinding dailies. I have that option. I get it. If you've got points sitting there and you're not likely to replace an item, upgrades are fine. Upgrading, like Dirge says, he's upgrading his normal best in slot. He's more than happy with that. Preacher, why do you think Blizzard haven't said anything about marksman hunters yet? Could it be they're reworking the spec, and if so, how? I do not believe they are reworking the spec. They tried to fix it a while ago. I'm not going to be able to find the patch notes to hand. They tried to fix marksman a while ago. Unfortunately, it's the nature of the beast. If you have 3 DPS specs, one is going to be better than the others, and one is going to be worse. That's just it. There's nothing more to it than that. It's not like a problem that needs fixing, if I'm honest. It doesn't need fixing. Without making it so powerful, it dwarfs the other two. As much as I don't like saying that, because I love marksman, I think it's my favourite spec of the hunters just now, that's the way it is. And it's hard to fix that. They've done pretty well, actually. They've done pretty well with getting most of the specs balanced. But I understand where you're coming from, man. I really do. I love Marksman. I really do. And I enjoyed Marksman in Mr. Pandaria greatly. Doing that guide was a ton of fun for me. I really enjoyed Marksman. But it's 3 DPS specs. Something's got to be worse. That's just it. Something's got to be worse. Something has to be worse. If you upgrade your points, will you get your points back? No, they're a points dump. It's a way to dump your points. How do you find a good raiding guild? You have to know your limits. Again, a lot of people don't like to accept they have limits. I can totally appreciate that. But think about it like a job. It's the easiest way to do it. You can't apply to be the CEO of some company if you've worked in the mailroom for the last 10 years. You can't do that. You know what I mean? It's not going to happen. As much as some people like to do that, you can cheese it. There's a great way of getting ahead in the world, and it's really going to catch you out at some point. But I've run into many people who do this, and they're in bad situations now. And it's by basically guild hopping, because you can do it in real life too. You join some company as some role, and then you instantly apply to another company for the role above the one you just got. And companies who don't do their fucking homework, especially if you're a charming ass bastard, will give you that job. And then you join the new place, and then you apply for the job above yours somewhere else, and you start hopping around. Guild hopping does work for an extent, but you might bite off more than you can chew, and you end up in a situation where you just suck comparatively. You have to take your time. What is your current position? Have you not done any normal mode raiding? You need to find a normal mode guild, possibly a new one that's starting up with some people. You might need to go through a few before you find one, and find good people. Even in the Circle Jerk, you'll find a couple of people who are good. Make friends with them. Get to know them. If you find a good player and you're okay, especially somebody who's around your skill level, definitely make friends with them. Because when that guild falls apart, you two can go off somewhere together. Stick together and you'll start building a clump of players until ultimately you have a good solid raiding team. It'll happen. It will happen. What else are we doing? What else? Why would Blizz give Holy Pally such a buff that all our AoE spells are affected by their mastery when it can tell just because of a mega nerf soon after? I honestly don't know, Tommy. I honestly don't know. I don't know why some of the decisions get made. I don't work for Blizz, do I? I try to see the logic in all the changes that get made. I try. Oh, okay. I have to go shortly. I try. That's part of what I do, is try and see the logic in some of their changes. But some things just baffle me. Some things just don't make any sense. There's quite a major change coming to monks. Does anybody know what the monk change is? The healing monk change that's coming in 5.2. Does anyone know what it is? Because I only found out about it today. And I was kind of intrigued. Essentially, it's the healing sphere change. Yeah, it's the healing sphere change that's coming in. The healing spheres are now kind of a waste of time, right? In terms of most fights. If any of you are the restoration monks. What's the healing monks called? I fucking lost my mind today. The healing monks. Healing spheres just kind of get dotted around and left around the places. Mistweavers, yeah. The Mistweaver monks get dotted around everywhere. Someone kind of nailed it on the head. But these healing spheres heal for a lot. They do. Healing spheres heal for a shitload. The problem is, they can be 2 feet to your fucking left. And if you're a DPSer, that is too far. If it's any more than not on top of me as a DPS class, it's too far away. Am I right? That's why Lightwell was always the biggest disaster in raiding. Lightwell is an amazing, the most efficient heal in the game is Lightwell. No fuckers clicking it. I clicked it because sometimes I just felt bad that it was just sat in front of me. But healing spheres heal for shitloads, but you have to kind of move into them. In 5.2, the healing spheres, when they're about to expire, will now jump to a target and heal them. They will jump to a target and heal them. This is going to be a complete change to how Mistweavers play. And it's quite a major challenge. I'm interested to see how this one plays out because potentially it's going to completely alter the playstyle. From a crit heavy build, like a lot of Mistweavers are playing now, towards a very heavy mastery build. But it could potentially, in certain situations, lead to huge amounts of buffed healing. I've no doubt in some fights it will be absolutely ridiculous amounts of overhealing. This is what Blubzor told me, as he plays a monk main. He was telling me it could lead to just enormous amounts of overhealing. But in some fights, it's going to be an astronomical boost to healing, unless they nerf the class again. I'm kind of interested. Mistweavers have been very, very powerful, have already been nerfed a couple of times in Mr. Pandaria, and are now going to be buffed in some fashion, which is, again, I just don't understand. Why would they do that? I really don't know how to do that. As a GM, it's really hard to recruit raiders because of my guild doesn't have that much raiding progress. It ain't always the guild's fault. Absolutely true. People, and this is because people don't know their limits. This is the issue you're having, and this is an issue that's going to change. So you should be really happy, Charana. You should be really happy with the changes that are coming up now, because people are going to have to accept their limits, because no longer can they sort of live in the elitist world where they're capable of joining the best guilds ever, even though it doesn't happen, and then just giving shit to people who, like yourself, who don't have amazing progress. They're going to have to stick it out, or they're going to get lost forever and ever, and have a really, really bad time. The change coming up is going to really promote your guilds that are sort of mid-level on progress, because you're going to start seeing a lot more recruits. A lot more people looking to get back into raiding because they're now actually missing out on content. Nobody gave a shit about your guild when they could leave and see all the content. No one gave a fuck. Couldn't give two shits. Why would they? But now they have to. So you should be quite excited for what's coming up. You should be quite excited. Okay, I have to go, apparently. I've got a quite important message to deal with. So, cool. Workshop Wednesday tomorrow. As always, check out our store. We're still looking for donations. It's going to be a shitty month because I'm doing Way of the Warrior. And also, I might be doing something group-related with Way of the Warrior on Friday. So if any of you are around, I will pop the live stream up at some point. And we will do something then. I'm not making it too public and trying to set a major time or anything because of all the issues we had last time. A lot of people trying to ruin it. I can tell you that in February, all the Way of the Warrior stuff should be done. In February, I will pretty much be live streaming for about a month as I cap every character. So February will be a massive live streaming thing. I will still continue with the dailies and stuff like that and continue doing some guides. But I'm going to be live streaming essentially from 8 AM till around after the daily finishes every single day for February. So I'll be looking forward to joining you guys then. I'll be capping pretty much every class, doing some games with you guys as well. No doubt I'll OD on World of Warcraft. I'm not big on live streaming for various reasons. I don't see it as a long-term plan. But live streaming is fun. So in February, I will be joining you guys for a lot of live streaming during the day. So 8 AM UK time till around about 6 PM. It's going to be like 8 hours of live streaming every single day, excluding weekends. All right, guys. So awesome. I'll see you tomorrow. Be good. And this video coming up on YouTube concerning mages, a critique of mages, is coming up on the YouTube channel in about 25 minutes. And tomorrow is the big weekly video. All good. And Workshop Wednesday, so I'm busy as fuck. Bye! I can't turn the stream